Okay, so my Johnny Depp story. I've told this story for many, many years. I'm going to walk you around my backyard just to have some sort of movement and motion so I don't have all my videos are so claustrophobic. Anyways, so the story goes that I was doing a showcase for Atlantic Records, and I didn't want to be doing that showcase for Atlantic Records because we had just formed a new band called the Ex-Idols, but our previous band was very popular called Imagine World Peace, and we changed singers and didn't change band names and changed all the songs, and we performed them, but we were messing up the songs because we wrote them, like some of them that week, and I just walked upstairs a large staircase. Anyways, so we wrote the songs. So we were biffing the songs, and Atlantic Records was he had Atlantic Records there because he also Marshall Burrell. He managed Van Halen on the first record, and then Rat. At that time it was Rat. And anyways, we told him don't invite him, we're not ready yet. But he invited him anyways, and we were so irritated because we weren't good. And Atlantic Records turned us down, the Ex-Idols, because they said, you guys, they're not ready yet. And so anyways, Marshall Burrell stopped returning our phone calls, which really upset our bass player because he was the one that was doing the phone calls with him. And he was like, man, when we get a record deal, and he calls us to be our manager, I'm going to turn him down, and which actually happened. What's this? Oh, okay. Something popped up on my phone, but I want to finish this video. Anyways, so we performed, and it wasn't good. And then Johnny Depp walks up to me after the show, right after. And I'm right in front of the stage, so we didn't really have any fans there, because or at all, maybe just our one or two friends each, because it was, like I said, a warm-up show, and it was at the Central, which anyways later became the Vipe Room. And what happened was Johnny Depp walked up to me and he said, well, he says, oh yeah. So he goes, oh, I love your band. And I was so irritated. I was, with my head down, putting the chords in the guitar bag and stuff like that. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, we just suck. So yeah, right. But I appreciate it. But yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? And anyways, and he goes, can I ask you a question? So I said, thank you. And he goes, can I ask you a question? And I said, yeah, what? And I didn't know it was Johnny Depp, of course. And he goes, what do you think of this place? And I said, well, and I was in a very bad mood, like I said, so I was irritated. And so I was like, so I said, well, the place looks like concrete, because I always said everyone said the place looks like concrete, because the walls were like painted concrete color, and the floors were concrete. And it was dusty, and it was all like just hole in the wallish. And anyways, and I said the sound and and my monitor was ripped, and so the PA sucks or whatever, needs to be replaced or whatever, however I put it. And then he goes, well, thank you for your time, that sort of thing. And then my bass player's the girl he was living with for that week, because he was on his Hollywood couch tour, different people all the time. And anyways, she runs up to me and she goes, do you know who that was? And I go, who? And this is in 1992. So he goes, and I go, who? And she goes, that was Johnny Depp. And I'm like, from 21 Jump Street? Because I barely even knew who that was. And she goes, yeah. But of course, girls love him, And I was like, so I'm irritated. So I'm like, And he had long hair. So I didn't recognize him, because in 21 Jump Street, he has like an Elvis haircut or something like that, which I've never even actually still seen that show. Anyways, anyways, and that's the story about Johnny Depp. But I should say this little added part, because it's just a funny ending that I always put on the story, because it happened right after. So the bass player was kind of seeing that girl, but he wanted to go home with a different girl. And he did. And she got in the car, and we're pulling out of the Viper rooms. Oh, by the way, the Johnny Depp thing. So about a month later, he bought the Central, called it the Viper Room, painted it black, and put up the curtain and replaced the sound system. Not that he did it because of me, but it was obviously you had to do these things. It was literally, you can't have a concrete club. I mean, they had a concrete club, and everyone hated it, So that was a no-brainer. But anyways, he leaves the bass player leaves with a different girl, and pulling out of the driveway, the parking lot, and she sees him, and we're all outside of the Viper Room where the parking lot's at. He pulls out, and she sees him get so mad, she kicks his car door in like a huge dent. And we're all, laughing our faces off because, that's what he gets, really. And it was a hunk of junk anyways. He left on the side. One time we were driving down Hollywood Boulevard, or Sunset Boulevard. It broke down enough to where he could coast to the side of the road, and he just left it there. And I think that he literally, probably had like, citations. I bet you. I never asked him about it, though. Anyways, there's my Johnny Depp story.